Greetings, this is Jazz for Jazz Reviews, presenting 10 of the very best weapons in video games. The spotlight forever shines on real-life weaponry and has become the main focal point of a developer's efforts. We're all accustomed to shotguns, assault rifles, even pulse rifles, the typical tools of the trade. I'm more interested in weapons that innovate through a core energy of weird, brutality, or genius. Cue the top 10 sadistically hilarious and original weapons this side of gaming. Launching the list at number 10. The underdog of Italian plumber turtle shell bowling. The green Koopa Trooper shell. Both blue and red shells act as homing missiles, destroying lives, or victories in a mere push of a button. But the green shell demands manualized skill, bouncing a limited amount of times before crumbling. But nailing Princess Peach with a well-aimed shell just before the finish line is by far the most successful Mario Kart victory of them all. Plus, green is my favorite color. At number 9. The coolest thing since conceptualized helicopters, tanks, and the Mona Lisa. It's Leonardo da Vinci's latest work. The Hidden Blade. Slick, sleek, and swift of purpose. Early assassins were first required to chop off their ring fingers to allow the blade to retract freely. But it was Da Vinci's design that permitted the use of dual blades, poison, and a hidden gun. Later modifications even introduced a hook blade, assisting in all free-running dilemmas. But the Hidden Blade was so damn cool, creating for some deviously splendid stealth kills. Its combat effectiveness increased with every Assassin's Creed game, with ridiculous demonstrations of parrying massive two-handed weapons. But surely the novelty has worn off by now. I question the practicalities of the blade. How many times could it really be used before the blood clogged up the mechanism? How many battle axes could be counted before Ezio's wrists broke in half? And why would any trained assassin dream of strapping the murder weapon to their wrist? But Assassin's Creed doesn't care about these things. And as long as you don't, I think you'll be happy to consider the Hidden Blade an iconic piece of modern gaming weaponry. At number 8. The video game equivalent to Excalibur, the Master Sword. The blade is one of Nintendo legend, forever recognized by gamers of all ages. Once unleashed, its power could be used to travel through time in Ocarina, or banish the evil king by turning him to stone in Wind Waker. With such an extensive lore, the sword is a bigger part of Link's journey as rescuing Princess Zelda and restoring peace to the Kingdom of Hyrule. It's not the most badass weapon in this list, but its history is duly noted. The Master Sword is a symbol of an entire gaming generation, thanks to a personality of its own. At number 7. On the flip side of melee weapons, the extremely badass Halo's Energy Sword. Supreme in one-hit kills, the Covenant Death Sword holds the ultimate melee attack for multiplayer first-person shooters. The electrical swoosh signals imminent death for those who hear it, and its lunge capability almost guarantees the kill once the reticle turns red. There's few experiences as satisfying as slashing person to person, emptying the entire area in a stylish massacre of enemy players. There's a certain elegance and subtle beauty behind its energy, creating for some of the most unpredictably intimate moments in its genre.
Get over here!
At number 6. The Olympic Fury, wieldable only by the true servant to the God of War. It's the Blades of Chaos. Forged at the darkest depths of the underworld by Ares himself, their chains would remain seared to the bearer's flesh, a permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. Through the horrors of losing his entire family to the Blades of Chaos, Kratos may have found comfort in the sheer array of awesome leveling upgrade options for the blades. They encompassed all kinds of acrobatic maneuvers in one long chain of brutal attacks and finishing moves. Bonus points for badassery, freaking medals for originality. At number 5. Nintendo's more gruesome Orb of Death, the Cerebral Ball. Locking on to enemy brainwaves, the little blue ball is not to be underestimated. Once the tiny alien contraption locates its head, it will continue to drill its way into the brain, after a disturbingly tense moment of waiting for the magic. It happens, blowing the entire skull apart in one sadistically explosive decapitation, creating for the most unconventional headshots. The Cerebral bore, ladies and gentlemen, first witnessed on the Nintendo 64. At number 4, the only name suitable for this gaming mammoth, the Big Fucking Gun 9000. Tearing through hell like a hot knife to butter, the BFG made its debut back in old 1993 and has been turning demons to gory liquidized gloop ever since. An ungodly serving in green plasma can turn an entire room to jelly, as well as embarrass the strongest of enemies in-game. Doom's hellishly difficult enemies made me as happy as a penguin in a microwave, but the BFG is a godsend, dishing out an incredible amount of splash damage. It is massively destructive and hugely overpowered given the ammo, but standing the test of time, the Big Fucking Gun has obtained a certifiable legendary status.
Holy shit.
At number 3. Chainsaws have certainly made their mark on video games, but none quite like the Lancer from Gears of War. The substantial firepower is enough to give anyone a concussion, and that's without actually being shot by the rifle. It's intimidating and viscerally tactile with a chainsaw attachment to boot, a profound, more unsophisticated revision of the bayonet. I fail to see any weapon quite as angry as this. It commands an undeniable level of respect. The Lancer represents the gallant but unrelenting concept and vibe that is Gears of War. At number 2, the 0-point energy field manipulator, or in layman terms, the gravity gun.
You can call it the 0-point energy field manipulator.
In a stroke of genius, Valve developers have created much more than a mere firearm. Its ammunition derives not from bullets, but the environment, forever changing the perception of physics in video games. From plastic bottles and bricks, to automobiles and disc blades. The gravity gun is a devastating force to be reckoned with. But it also provides for an astounding level of creativity, rewarding strategy. Suspended items could also be utilized as a means of cover from enemy gunfire. And the cliché of static explosive barrels stuck out like a sore thumb. And if that wasn't enough to spark your imagination, the game climaxed with a much anticipated ability to fling humans around the room. Our primal urges satisfied too. Hang on there folks, just before revealing the best video game weapon of all time. 3 honorable mentions go out to Farsight XR20,
Denied.
the Redeemer, and the Plasma Sticky Grenade from Halo. But finally, at number 1, developed from the theory of relativity, this weapon is the byproduct of all that is evil, the unbelievably jaw-dropping, experimental MIRV. However, inspired by the Manhattan Project, the Fat Man launcher would be the most memorable weapon in all of the Fallout series. A single mini-nuclear warhead is enough to startle the most fearless super mutant behemoth. But someone at Bethesda Studios decided that wasn't enough. The experimental MIRV simultaneously fires 8 mini-nukes, causing a ridiculous blast radius that obliterates all within its grasp. That's 8 times the very same damage of one Fat Man nuke. It was a little trickier to find, buried deep within the National Guard depot, which leads us as to why its name is less infamous than its little fat brother. But once you found it, the awe-inspiring glow of its mushroom cloud was a shocking sight that no one was expecting. I seriously doubt anyone accurately estimated its insanely stupid blast radius either. This has been Jazz for Jazz Reviews, and this has been the Top 10 Video Game Weapons. For more Top 10 video game lists just like these, Subscribe to the channel. I also produce fully fledged video game reviews for the biggest titles in the industry. Definitely check out the channel and see if it's for you. But thanks for watching. Let me know your single favorite gaming weapon of all time. I'll be reading the comments for many years to come. But until next time, I'll see you in the comments.